Welcome to another episode of Rodis Live. Let's get it.
They call him Hunt Fly. Hunt the wild ride. Hunt Fly. Hunt the wild ride. They call him Rock the Riders. They call him the wild ride. They call him Rock the Riders. They call him the wild ride. They call him Hunt Fly.
Welcome to Rodis Live. It's the 4th week of June. I am your host, Rodis, and it's summertime. The summertime. I hope y'all enjoying the weather. I hope y'all had a good week. But this week on Rodis Live, it's all about the hip-hop. And today what I'm going to touch on is the golden era. And I got some golden nuggets on this episode, to be exact. Most often when we talk about the golden era of hip-hop, it's usually from 90 to 99. Some people had different eras which they feel is the golden era. The 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, 2010s. Y'all let me know what y'all golden era of hip-hop is. But for me, the golden era is the 90s. And I'm gonna pinpoint the exact time in hip-hop where the golden era of hip-hop was at its best. Let's get it. It's time for another segment of What's Poppin', y'all. Kool G Rap, that's what's poppin'. Goody Mob, that's what's poppin'. KRS-One, that's what's poppin'. Naughty by Nature, that's what's poppin'. The Far Side, that's what's poppin'. Big L, that's what's poppin'. Tupac, that's what's poppin'. The GZA, that's what's poppin'. Mobb Deep, that's what's poppin'. Raekwon, that's what's poppin'. Raekwon the Chef is the Rodis Live What's Poppin' artist of the day, y'all. Let's get it.
You know what I mean? Politicking on the reg dog. Word up. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Knock niggas out the box all the time. Niggas know my motherfucking rep they wrong. Yeah, fucker. Straight up. Fuck your whole take care, B.I. shit. Yeah, what's it? Yo, G.I. nigga. Now yo, what up, yo? Time is running out, it's for real though. Let's connect, politics, ditto. We can trade places, get lifted in the staircase. Word up, peace incarcerated, Scarface related style, attract millions. Fans, they understand my plan. Who's the kid up in the green land? Me and the RZA connect. Blow a fuse, you lose. Half-ass crews get demolished and bruised. Fake me frontin', hourglass heads niggas be wantin'. Shutting down your slot time for pumping. Poisonous sting, which dumps up and act chunks. Raise a heavy generator. But yo, guess who's the black Trump? Dough be flowing by the hours. Woo, we got the collars, scholars. Word like peace to power and my whole unit. Word up, quick to set it, don't wet it. Real niggas lick shots, peace Connecticut. Now yo, what up, yo? Time is running out, it's for real though. Let's connect, politics, ditto. We can trade places, get lifted in the staircases. Word up, peace incarcerated, Scarfaces. Chef for shine like marble, rhyme remarkable. Real niggas raise up, spend your money, argue. But this time it's for the uninvited. Go ahead and rhyme to it. Big nigga Mike's is getting fired. Morphine chicks be burning like chlorine. Niggas recognize from here to Baltimore to Fort Greene. But hold up, my wet be tasting like thrower. My mob roller, drip to death, whips rolled up. You never had no wins. Sliding in these dens with Timbs, with Mac 10s and broke friends. You got guns too. What up, son, do? Wanna battle for cash and see who's son too? I polywhack, jack, smack rap niggas, you facts. Niggas lyrics, you whack, nigga. Can't stand unofficial, wet tissue, blank busts, scud missiles. You rollin' like Trump, you get your meat lumped. For real, it's just slang rap democracy. Here's the policy, slide off the ring, plus the wallabies. Check the status, soon to see me at Caesar's Palace eating salads. Be meeting Mike, sending keys to Dallas. I move rhymes like retail, make sure shit sell. From where we at to my man sell. From staircase to stage, minimum wage. But soon to get an article and rap page. But all I need is my house, my gat, my act. Bank account fat, it's going down like that. And part in the French, but let me speak Italian. Black stallions wildin' on Shaolin. That means the Allen is Staten. And niggas carry gats in. Mad police from Manhattan. Now yo, what up, yo? Time is running out, it's for real though. Let's connect, politic, ditto. We can trade places, get lifted in the staircases. Word up, peace incarcerated Scarface. I do this for barbershop niggas in the plaza, catching asthma. Greatest stick and gun flashes, well dressed, skating through the projects with big ones. Broke elevators, turn the lights out, stick one upstairs. Switch like a chameleon, hit Brazilians, pass the cash, leave your children, lead a building. Niggas, yo, they be folding like envelopes under pressure, like Lou Ferrigno on cloak. Yo, Africans denying niggas up in yellow cash, musty like fuck, waving their arms. The Arabs sit back, cooling like Kalu was on rocks, on the crack spots, rubber band rap. All my knots, few bitches who fuck dreads. On Sudafeds, pussies hurting. They did it for a yard for the feds. Word up, cousin, nigga, I seen it like a 27-inch Zenith. Believe it. Now yo, what up, yo? Time is running out, it's for real though. Let's connect, politic, ditto. We can trade places, get lifted in the staircases. Word up, peace incarcerated Scarfaces.
Vanilla, butter, pecan, chocolate deluxe. Even caramel sundaes is getting touched and scooped in my ice cream truck. Who tears it up?
Yo, honey dip, summertime, fine jury dripping. Seen you on pickings with a bunch of chickens, how you clicking? I kept shooting strong notes as we got close. She rock rope, honey throat smelling like impulse. Your whole shell, baby's wicked like Nimrod. Caught me like a freshwater straw, or may I not be God? Attitude is very rude, boo. Crabby like seafood, it turns me on like Vine, see you all rude. They call me Starkey Love Hunt, check the strategy by any means. Shirley Temple Cross was done by Billie Jeans. Black Mrs. America, your name is Erica, right? True. Lazy Apple, small feet, 6 shoe. Caramel complexion, breath smelling like cinnamon. Excuse me, hun, the don't mean no harm. Turn around again, goddamn, backyard's banging like a Benzie. If I was Jiggy, you'd be spotted like Spud McKenzie. I'm high-powered, put Adina Howard to sleep, you're parting. That bitch been on my mind all week, but back to you, Maybelline Queen, let's make a team. You can have anything in this world except cream. So what you wanna do? What you wanna do? Let's go ahead and walk these dogs and represent Woo.
Watch these rap niggas get all up in your guts. Prince Vanilla, butter, pecan, chocolate deluxe. Even caramel sundaes is getting touched and scooped in my ice cream truck. Who tears it up?
Shaolin's finest. What up, boo? Peace, your highness, yo, I'm lounging. Big dick style, y'all niggas is the flyers. Moves you're making, true fly choosing, shaking out a rape patient. You're looking good, fly colored Asian. Ghettos, them is your hometown. We could go the whole round. After that, I'm shooting downtown. I'm rocking hats and your wig is all intact. Who's that queen bee chick? Eyes pearly black. Freaks be moving in fly sneaks. 2-finger rings and gold teeth. And ain't afraid the whole heat. So when I step in the square, dear, you better have cream this shit. Weekends, Ben I keep, yeah.
Watch these rap niggas get all up in your guts. Prince Vanilla, butter, pecan, chocolate deluxe. Even caramel sundaes is getting touched. Scooped in my ice cream truck. Who tears it up?
Black chocolate girl, wonder, shake ground like thunder. Politic to your deficit step, give me your number. Your sexy, persuasive tatas and thighs catch my eye rise like highs. I want your bodily surprise. Double down sometime. Ice cream, you got me falling out like a cripple. I love you like I love my dick size. Ooh, baby, I miss you. Your sweet tender touches take pulls off the Duchess. Orgasm in my mind, stay masturbating your clutches. I want you for self like wealth, so play me closely. Bitches paranoia for this thing, who want the most of me? Only a hard dozen wanna be calling me cousin. Thirsty for my catalog, baby, shopping spree 11. Call me if you wanna get dug like the pockets. I just am like a giant, break wounds out of the sockets.
Wu-Tang in the cut, for real niggas what? This the after party your bitches wanna fuck. Watch these rap niggas get all up in your guts. French vanilla butter pecan chocolate deluxe. Even caramel sundaes is getting touched. Scooped in the ice cream truck, who tears it up? Ice cold bitches melt down when in my clutch and want they titties sucked. Ice cream, yeah. Your guts, French vanilla butter pecan chocolate deluxe. Even caramel sundaes is getting touched. Scooped in the ice cream truck, who tears it up? Ice cold bitches melt down when in the clutch. They want their titties sucked. Ice cream. One love to my chocolate deluxes. Keep your nails done and your wigs tight. Rolled up. One love to my butter pecan Ricans for calling me Poppy. That's for real. One love to caramel sundae with the cherries on top. Yeah. And big up to my French vanillas. Parlez-vous français, mi amour, merci, oui oui, bonbons and all that good stuff. That good stuff.
That was Raekwon with Incarcerated Scarfaces and Cream. Both of those songs can be found on all streaming platforms off of Only Built for Cuban Links featuring Ghostface Killah. You want some cool merchandise? Well, you want to go to RidersLivePodcastStore.com. Also, we have t-shirts, hoodies, and drinkware accessories. You just shop, pick out what you like, and your orders will come straight to you directly. Also, subscribe to the Riders Live Podcast. It's on all streaming platforms. You can even listen on ridersonline.net. You can get my music from the Linktree. You can access my merchandise store, and you can listen on all streaming platforms right through the Linktree. So subscribe, rate, and review to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify for Podcasters, Google Podcasts, and Good Pods. And you can also leave a review on ridersonline.net. I appreciate everybody who's been listening to the show. Keep tapping in for great content and episodes. Thank you. So today, this episode is entitled Golden Nuggets, and basically what I'm going to talk about is the golden era of hip-hop. And depending on when you was born, that can vary. Depending on when you was born, where, and what time. So I was born to see the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, all the way up until now, for what it's worth. Rapper's Delight came out in 1971, if I'm not mistaken. That was the year I was born. So in the 80s, you had a lot of great MCs. You had a lot of great movements. Self-Destruction, Public Enemy, Fight the Power, all that. It was a lot of unity in hip-hop during the 80s. You had NWA, You had X-Clan. You had a lot of these great groups, not to mention solo artists like Eric B. and Rakim, LL Cool J, the Juice Crew, Roxanne Shante. You had a lot of MCs that came out in the 80s to pave the way. Not to mention the people before that, Africa Bambaataa, Grandmaster Caz, all of those MCs, Kool Moe Dee, Ice-T, on and on and on and on and on. So in the 90s, we had some prominent MCs that changed the game with what they brought to the table. You had Nas with Illmatic. You had Hov with Reasonable Doubt. You had Common, Can I Borrow $1, Gangsta. You had Redman, Capone and Noriega, Twista, the first artist signed to Loud Records, Wu-Tang Clan, DMX, J. Rue the Damager, Foxy Brown, Cannabis, and the list goes on and on and on. So, even though there's a lot of good music coming out in the 2000s, it's not the golden era. The 2010s, not the golden era. 2020s, not the golden era. Music now, it's better for artists, and it's actually a resurgence in hip-hop taking place at this moment, but we'll have that conversation at a later date. But the exact pinpointed golden era is 1995. And I'm going to tell you why. You had a lot of great solo artists that released great albums, and you had a lot of groups that came out and released great albums, and it just was a lot of classic hip-hop. I really don't want to do a list, but I did do a list. Starting off with Kool G Rap's 456. The album was Street. It had Nas on there and a couple of other artists, but the 456 theme was all about gambling, all about the hustle, and those true, grimy, gritty, money-motivated, driven tracks. So that's why this album is in this golden era part of the 90s, because a lot of the music that came and was shaped after this is because of this album. Next, we got people from the South, and I'm talking about none other than Goodie Mob, Big Gip and the Crew, and CeeLo. They released Soul Food, which was a phenomenal album. And I know all y'all like, man, you could have said something about Outkast. Man, ATLiens was dope. This, that, and the other. But, yeah, it was. But this year in hip-hop specifically, it was better albums released overall. And Soul Food had anthems, and it was one of those albums that was a major introduction to the South by a collective prior to Master P coming out with the Ice Cream Man, prior to the Hot Boys dropping their slew of hits, even though they was already ghetto platinum and ghetto underground and famous during that time, but they haven't emerged yet. This was our first real look at the South, at least my look, because during this time I was living in North Carolina, and I'm trying to tell y'all what the climate was during this year at this time. Next, this artist right here, he made The Bridge Is Over. And KRS-One released the self-titled album KRS-One with lyrics, beats, rhymes, knowledge, gems. I think this album was really overlooked a lot because it was so good, and the way the climate of hip-hop was going at the time, a lot of people slept on this album, but KRS-One, he couldn't be denied. This album was dope, y'all. Yes, it was. Now, Naughty by Nature, Poverty's Paradise, Treach, KG, and Vanny, they unleashed a slew of anthems off of this Naughty by Nature album. And it was dope. Everybody was checking for this from the first video. They got down on this album. They put Jersey on the map. And I picked this album because it was making noise. And what Naughty by Nature has done from hip-hop and the way Treach, could bring the anthems, the grit, and KG with his underrated production can't be matched. Period. Now we're going to go over to the west side a little bit. We're going to go over to the west side. We're going to go over to the west side, and then we're going to go back over to the east side, and then we're going to come back over to the west side. So number 5, this album right here got beats, rhymes, style, anthems, and MCs, and I'm talking about none other than the Pharcyde. They got the Labbin, Cabin, Cali. You know what I'm saying? It sound like, just based on the title alone, it lets you know they was in the lab, locked in a crib, eating, sleeping, shitting, Cali. But it wasn't a typical California music, you know what I'm saying? It was infused with lyricism, anthems, and authenticity. And their sound was dope. So if y'all haven't heard Labbin, Cabin, California, y'all go ahead and check out the Pharcyde. Next, this album right here, it had Jay-Z on there, Cameron on there, and a slew of other MCs who were not household names at the time, but this great MC right here, the maker of Ebonics, the late great Big L, Lifestyles of the Poor, and Dangerous. This album came out on Sony. It got 4 mics, and Big L, he had style, he had flair, he had anthems, and, he introduced a lot of today's legends on this one album. Big L's Harlem's finest right here, man. He died too soon, but Big L was a hustler. He was a live rat, a lab rat, and he was a live wire on the mic, man. Nobody don't sound like Big L Coleon, the way he bounced over beats and tracks. So, Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous. So, I hope that I'm kind of solidifying this list and making my argument. I know y'all probably sitting thinking, oh, what about this and what about that? There's some honorable mentions that I left off this album, and I'm going to keep them off because I'm going to get on with my list. So at number 7, we got arguably Tupac's greatest album. It's dope. It got anthem. And, Tupac was really tapped in when he made this album, and I feel like this is Tupac's greatest album. Me Against the World. Yes, by the late, great Tupac Shakur. Did he make All Eyes on Me, the classic double disc? Yes. Did he make Machiavelli? Yes. Is One Nation somewhere locked up in a crate somewhere? Yes. But is this Tupac's greatest album? Yes. Me Against the World. Dear Mama, keep your head up. This album got joints and joints and joints. The Outlaws, that was kind of being introduced on this album, but they weren't really showcased, but you kind of see what the Outlaws was going to be. In my opinion, it's sad that they didn't carry on Tupac's legacy, maybe because they was young, maybe because he hadn't brought them up fast enough. Tupac was young when he died at 26, because he was still a shorty, but his work ethic and his catalog, he got songs and songs and songs for days and days and days. So, Tupac, Me Against the World, y'all. Now, this album, the artwork was creative. I don't think I would have picked up the album, but at this point in my life, you know, I was just really, really, really getting into the Wu-Tang album. And I remember I was stationed on the Woodby Island, which was a destroyer ship in the Marine Corps. And we did have a ship store. And they had All Eyes on Me. They had Liquid Swords by GZA, which is this album right here. I think it's a hip-hop classic because it was laid back. The lyrics was good. Was a lot of gems on this album. And I'm going to just keep it a buck. A lot of people, they be trying to shit on the RZA, but his production was amazing with the Karate Flick interlude and the actual skits and everything, and how he brought all the songs in. So yeah, the GZA with Liquid Swords. Next, this album right here can be considered arguably the greatest New York album. Yes, I love Nas, I love Illmatic. Illmatic is my favorite album, but this album right here can be considered the best album out of New York. Mobb Deep, the Infamous. The beats on this album shape Mobb Deep sound. Not a New York sound, but Mobb Deep sounds. Havoc, he handled most of the production on this album. I think that Q-Tip, you know, he did maybe a track or two on here, but the features on this album, Ghostface, Raekwon, Method Man, Nas, Raekwon. This album was crazy coming from the Loud family, and the beats was cold. Shook Ones, come on now. Man, Survival of the Fittest. This album right here represents New York hip-hop, and like I said, it can arguably considered the best album to come out of New York City. That's just how I feel. If you got an album that you think is the best album to come out of New York City other than The Infamous, in the comments, y'all leave y'all best album that y'all think is from New York City. Alright? And last but not least, if y'all had this album or tape, the number one album in 1995 coming out of New York was the Purple Tape. Yeah, Raekwon only built for Cuban links. Listen, this album, these beats was crazy. If you sat in a car and you listen how Ray and Ghost put this 18-track masterpiece together, man, it was like a mafia flick, like watching The Godfather or something like that. You know, let me know what y'all listening experience was like the first time you heard Only Built for Cuban Links. You know, they brought the criminology into the rap game. They did. They was the first ones to bring the criminology into the rap game. You know, on this scale, on this level. After all these albums came out in 95, all the artists that was coming out in the 90s was stepping their game up. These albums right here help people go to the lab, birth, and create some of the best albums in hip-hop. So, yeah, that's it. These are the golden nuggets. These are the best albums from the golden era, in my opinion. 1995 is the best year of the golden era based off these albums. Y'all tell me what's y'all best era of hip-hop. Y'all tell me y'all top 10 albums from the golden era. And if you could pinpoint a year or even making a collage of the years just to represent the 90s and the golden era of hip-hop, y'all do that. So this has been another episode of Writers Live, y'all. Peace.